Big problem is I'm stuck doing the same projects.
Yeah, because I mean, it's busy. Everyone's got projects.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of projects. The key problem is I'm stuck doing the same projects. Projects I don't love.
Hey guys, it's Andre here from Biz Video, and in today's video podcast, Corneille and Jean-Pierre will be discussing a problem that a lot of builders struggle with.
Jean-Pierre,
Corneille.
how do we start this?
Well, you and I chatted this morning, and we were looking at, because you and I have both had conversations with builders, clients, past clients, and existing clients,
but more so prospective clients. They say I'm stuck doing the same projects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that problem is something we mostly hear with not our clients.
Yeah.
That's the problem we solve.
Yeah.
But yeah, with a lot of prospective clients, when I'm chatting to them, that's something that keeps coming up. So despite the industry being super busy at the moment, big problem is I'm stuck doing the same projects.
Yeah, because I mean, it's busy. Everyone's got projects.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. Like, we speak to a lot of builders. Whenever we drive around as well, there's a lot happening. There's no shortage of projects. But yeah, I guess the key problem is I'm stuck doing the same projects. Projects I don't love. And, clients that, they decide to build with me because of the price at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And whenever we see this, what's the cause?
Well, the biggest cause might be more than one cause.
Yeah.
But some of the biggest ones is, big one that has sort of two sides to it is obscurity.
Yeah. People don't know about you.
Not
enough people
know that you exist, and the message that you're putting out there isn't capturing people's attention. It isn't building an emotional connection.
Yeah.
So because of that, people don't know how to value you.
Yeah.
And so they base it on the product. And at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone down the road who can do it cheaper. And if you keep going, yeah, cool, I can do great work.
Yeah.
And I can deliver it on time, and I do the classic things everyone says. You're just positioning yourself to look exactly like and sound like the builder next door.
Exactly. And I mean, we'll probably go into this topic that I'm going to be talking about in 1 second on different podcasts. But, if you're in that kind of situation as well, another reason for that is because you've created yourself as a commodity, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You're like rice or flour. If someone needs to go buy rice or flour, they just go, what's the cheapest price? I'm not even talking from a consumer level. I'm talking about, what do you call it? The Woolworths and whoever creates the packaging and all that kind of stuff. They just go, what's the price?
Yeah.
And as a commodity, you cannot dictate price. You cannot dictate value, because the value is just the rice.
The product is what it is.
Yeah, what the market is. So we'll go into that topic on another day. But before we go into, I guess you've got a little bit of a story to tell about a recent client. But just before we go into that, why are we recording this podcast today? Why is it such a rush?
Because I feel like it's coming. I'm having more and more conversations.
No. Why are we having this conversation today? It's because,
right now?
Yeah,
because
JP's
I've got a baby
coming, another baby. So it's exciting.
Yeah, we've got a lot trying to cram into, I think, the next 2 days, and then I'm on paternity. So
so that's why we're recording this podcast. It's going to be raw. It's going to be good. So stay tuned. But I guess, congrats, man. It's so exciting.
Thank you.
So for those of you that don't know us and how we're related, JP's my brother-in-law, so he's married to my sister. And we always play this joke, like, what do I normally say?
You keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah.
And so
that's why
I joined the team so they can keep a really close eye on me.
It's awesome. It's we always joke about that, but it's awesome. Yeah, working together and stuff, and so excited about this new baby. And
really good.
I mean, there's been a lot of babies in the office this year.
Yeah.
Started with me in Feb.
Yeah.
2 months later, Andre.
Yeah.
My brother. 2 months later, Mark, and now 2 months later, 2 or 3 months later.
So there's something happening. Yeah. There's something in the water.
Four new babies. So, but let's get back to topic.
What I want to talk about, there's two stories that come to mind that really, I think, has caused this topic to be discussed internally for ourselves a lot over this last week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've got a story, and I'll get to that in a sec. But your story, I overheard someone called the other day
Yeah, right. Yeah.
a client of ours. Why don't you tell us a bit about? Because I think that story is a great example of what happens when you market well and when you don't market.
Yeah. I mean,
and
again,
don't market.
and again, the problem that we're trying to like talk about here and solve is I'm stuck doing the same projects, projects I don't love.
Yeah.
Especially during these times, like we've already established, it is quite busy right now.
Yeah.
It's
There's plenty of work there.
Most builders have,
but how do you get
projects
that you want, and how do you pick and choose?
Yeah, so I mean, this client came on board probably a few years ago. We helped him with everything that we do. I won't go into that today. Maybe a little bit later.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we helped him, and he was established really well. His brand was established after we helped him. He was starting to attract more of his ideal clients. Pipeline full as ever. We kept helping him because, like most of our clients, we help him long term. They're always stay honest clients. We always like talk and gain feedback from what's happening in their business and the market, and how do we adjust the messaging and all that kind of stuff. So, what we do isn't like a quick one video and then send you away. Like we here like with you. And anyway, cut a long story short, after working with a few years, he said, let's just pause especially the advertising.
Things looking great. I'm busy. I've got plenty of work.
Yeah. I'm booked up for like, I don't know how many months. It would have been like 15, 18 months. I can't remember exactly now, but that's the situation that a lot of our clients are in. Yeah. And he said, let's pause. And I'm not sure exactly how long he paused the advertising side of things, where we got his story out there. But anyway, he called me up the other day and he's like, mate, I've got to get it going again. Yeah. Got to get it going. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. We'll help you out. Yeah. And then fast forward now, now we're helping him out, and he's so excited. He's pumped again because, and then you had a chat with him. And what did he say?
Richard had a chat with him.
Oh, yeah.
And I spoke to Rich. So Rich, how much information should we be giving in terms of the advertising side of things, so people understand what that is and why?
I guess we can go into a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay. But the conversation you had with Rich, when Rich caught up with him, and we love working with this client of ours, and he shared with Rich, I'm so excited to be back, working with you guys, just feel so relieved. And he said, when I stopped advertising, he said, it was fine the next week, didn't notice anything. But fast track, like
6 months
10
or whatever.
months later, I think, then it was, all of a sudden no one knows about me.
Yeah.
Now he said to Rich, I think if you ask Richie, his words, was like, I feel like I'm in a cave.
Yeah.
In the dark, and no one knows I exist.
Yeah.
And that's the difference when it comes to advertising. Definitely if someone walks into that cave by chance or referral, they come and talk to you, then they get to know you, great. But he wasn't doing anything actively to go out there and get new attention. So that was, and then...
And what was that a problem for him? Because things were good, like consistent before that. He was building a good pipeline.
Now because no one knows about him, that line up out the door, because even when you have that line in place, advertising doesn't just bring new people, it keeps you front of mind for that line that's waiting at the door.
Yeah, because people don't just decide one night, like last night my wife and I had dinner.
Yeah, no.
Cool, let's renovate our place, or let's build a new home.
Yeah.
I'm going to contact a builder tomorrow. It's a long-term thing, right? And there's all these different circumstances. And that's why it's really important for you to keep listening to this podcast, because we're going to identify in what order do you need to do things.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they're like, I've tried marketing before, but it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why it might not have worked for you, but today that might demystify it a little bit for you as a listener.
Other thing I'd add to that is you might have, so you got the line out the door, so people aren't ready to come in and knock on the door and talk to you.
Yeah. The ones that you don't even know about.
You don't even know about that. You don't even know that they're standing out there consuming you, being, creating in their minds, creating this emotional connection with you.
Yeah.
But then you look at the ones that are inside already.
Yeah.
Maybe they've started a conversation with you. Maybe you said, cool, let's start a conversation, but I can only look at your project in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
So my clients...
so maybe you're not ready as a builder.
That's right.
Because you're full already.
So you're busy. So what are you doing to stay front of mind? Yeah. And when they are not talking to you, which is where they can form a greater relationship with you, if you're not in communication with them, building that relationship, then you got to imagine how many conversations are they having with people out there, and what are they filling their heads with? What's the other media or other information that they're consuming? Family, friends who've had bad experiences. The classic at the moment, there's builders falling down left, right and centre. No one looks at the microeconomics of who those builders are and why. But they're hearing all this negative information, and then they're trying to form an accurate picture of you, and they're just getting barraged with this negative information. And so it's so important that you take control and take responsibility, and that's what we help our clients with, is to do that so that they're consuming the right information. It's you or our builders. And
I mean, if you're in business, like we're in business, right?
Yeah.
You can do things two ways. You can do something like super passive, or you can be proactive, right? The passive business owner is the one that's going to just wait, and the media will dictate basically where this business will go, depending on like how people.
Or the market will dictate.
The market, all that kind of stuff. And for a lot of our clients, the ones that do really, really well is because they're proactive.
Yeah.
They're putting out the messaging. They're demystifying some of the false beliefs and stuff out there. We always talk about false beliefs, right?
Always.
I mean, there's internal, external vehicle. External is the media, friends and family. Internal false beliefs are things like,
fears to have themselves.
Fears.
Big one that comes up is like, they might love the builder, all great, but their internal fear is, do I deserve it?
Yeah.
Maybe they have that internal conflict.
Yeah, and what will my friends...
What will my friends think, or what if I make the wrong decision? Not with the builder, but with what I want. What if I spend $1 million, $2 million, and it's not what I want?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Or if I overcapitalize.
Because they've maybe made bad decisions in the past. They do, those sort of fears. And then you got a vehicle.
Yeah, like vehicle.
Yeah.
So that's, like just the whole building process and also the builder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how we got into that now, but if we bring it back, it's... Yeah,
and that's
about being proactive.
That's one story. The other story that I had this last week was one of our clients, very similar. Yeah. Came on board with us a couple of years ago. Also, no one knew about them, no one understood their value, and they weren't getting choice, they were getting the leftovers. Yeah. We started working with them, told an amazing story.
They worked with us like, 2 or 3 years or something, and then when they came up for renewal for the next year, they said, we'll just, give it a bit of a break.
Things were good, they were comfortable. Yeah, and then called me last week and were like, we're not where we want to be anymore. Because no one knows about them anymore. They're not keeping themselves out there. They're not getting new attention and staying front of mind with the people who are showing an interest. And so you imagine that line out the door who are consuming you. If you're not continually saying, hi, this is how we can help. If you disappear, then they start doing this. And they see someone else over there and they go over there.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll go into a little bit of detail, like what that actually looks like. What do you have to do to stay in front of people? What do you put in front of them?
Yeah.
So we'll go into that in a little bit. But I guess, at the end of the day, if you're looking at the problem as in, I don't have the right projects that I want, am I going to take, the question you have to ask yourself is, am I going to take a proactive approach to change that? Am I going to take control as much as I can? Obviously, we live in a world where there's a lot of things out of our control.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do to take control? Yeah. And you cannot, the easiest way to fail with that is to think too short term. Think, okay, I'm going to take a proactive approach and I'm going to try this for a month.
Yeah.
I'm going to
market to win the next project.
Yeah, the next project. The clients that I've seen that really get this whole being proactive are the ones that are thinking 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And then they're reaping the rewards then.
Yeah.
And it's that perfect analogy of planting seeds today to harvest tomorrow, later, 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying 5 years, but I mean, let's say 1 year or 2 years from now. A lot of builders are booked out now for like 12 months. That's changing as well. Projects are falling over.
Yeah.
So so that's the problem. So I mean, the solution to all of this is you need to stay in front of people. You need to keep planting seeds, and you need to nurture those seeds. And you need to change your marketing from a kind of like a short-term marketing to a farming mentality.
Yeah.
Where you become a farmer.
Some people, when I mention that they do need some more information, can you break that down further?
Okay.
What farming, when we use the farming analogy, just break that down a bit further.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, that probably leads us to what you can do as well.
Yeah.
So I guess, and also in what order. So I think the easiest way to explain this is, number one, like as a builder, you need to identify who is your ideal client and what is your ideal project. You know, a lot of builders are getting this wrong. They create the messaging and the story first before they identify who that client is. Yes, it's important to create the messaging and the story, but you have to get clear first on who your ideal client is and the project.
If you go even further back, a lot of them, and that's a big part of our process, is a lot of them are not even clear on where they want to go.
Yeah, and what they want as a business.
And who they are.
Yeah. So
And if you don't know that, then you can't even...
Yeah.
If you don't know where you're going, then...
Yeah, and what your
you do
goals
anything,
are.
it's just going to be like...
Yeah,
this.
it's like Google Maps, right? So when you get in a car and you want to go somewhere, if you know where you want to go, that's the goal.
Yeah.
You put that into Google Maps and then you'll drive there and you'll get to the destination, hopefully.
Yeah.
But if you don't even have the goal, if you don't even know where you're going to go, which has been me lately with my baby, because sometimes the goal is just keep driving so baby sleeps. So that's a different goal, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses are like that. They're literally just going day by day. They don't even know what they want.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the goal is.
Drive this street, get to the end,
Yeah.
left or right.
I'll do this project. I'll do
right.
this renovation in this location. I'll do this new home 50 k's away from this location.
Yeah.
I'll do this.
I'll hang it all for this guy.
I'll do this fence.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with doing just a fence or just a granny flat. We've got a client that specializes in granny flats, and that's his focus. And he's clear about it, and he's smashing it, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with any type of project. It's just, what do you want?
Yeah. And the other misconception, some guys do want to grow the caliber of build they do. They want to do larger builds. And we have builders who go, you know what, I've tried that. And we got clients like this.
Yeah.
And we...
One that just renewed on his second year.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, I learned a lot through this 1 year.
You did?
He's like, I thought I wanted these luxury higher end builds.
Yeah.
And then
we helped him get those, and he got them, and he realized, you know what, that's actually not what we want to do.
Yeah.
That's not what my team is. I've
like set up
for. You know,
it's not what he's passionate about.
No.
Yeah.
And so he's gone, actually, you know what, we've identified what we are most profitable on and do best on, and the team finds most rewarding, and that's internal renovations.
Yeah.
Nothing structural.
Yeah.
And
that works for him, and that's his business and his process.
Yeah.
So again, like getting clear on what
Who
you want.
are, what you want.
Yeah. What projects do you want? What clients do you want? And then once you're clear on that, then what you want to do is create the messaging and the story.
Yeah.
Because those people need a story. They need a message. They need to feel like you understand them better than they understand themselves.
Yeah.
So that's a big key. A lot of people, they don't know what they want. We've just established this as builders. We've seen this so many times. They don't know what they want. So what about their clients? Their clients don't even know what they want.
Yeah.
So if you, the builder, are clear on what you want, how you can help those type of people, then you can help them know what they want.
Yeah. And I think subconsciously, a lot of people overlook this, but subconsciously, if you have a very clear message, a clear goal, and it's articulated well and it resonates with your ideal client, when they see that subconsciously, it just shows clarity, confidence, smooth, and that's then what they go, okay, cool, that's what a relationship would look like, that's what a build would look like.
Yeah.
But that's why, I mean, like we see with a lot of websites, builders have websites, and you land on it and you're like, I'm confused, I don't know where to go. And so you think, well, if I'm a prospective person looking to build with you, I land on that, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, the building process then with you is going to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I move on.
Yeah. So you've got to question, how do you portray yourself as a building business. You know, what is your message? And when we say message, it involves everything. It involves, it's the perception of what the market sees you as, your ideal clients see you as, and also how consistent it is across all areas. And when I say consistent across all areas, like what you said before, if they jump on your website, they need to go, I'm at the right place. Yes, it's a builder in this location that they do these type of builds, let's say renovations. The imagery needs to speak to them and say, wow, yeah, that's what I like. Okay. Some might be very modern, some might be more traditional, and you've got to, you know, become more focused. And then your story that you present to them in the form of video and everything at that stage needs to also show all of that. So that needs to be consistent, the website, video, all the copywriting on the website. And then there needs to be a clear call to action for the next logical step for the client.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. That's I think one thing that a lot of people overlook. They try and be, I don't know if they want to be too nice, or if these people are looking for a builder that they want to build.
Yeah, what's the next step?
Well, yeah.
If you go to
don't make it hard for me.
If you go to the supermarket and you pick up a Coke, what do? You just stand there and like...
If I can't find the till, I'm going to dump the Coke and walk out.
Yeah.
If I can't find
there needs to
self-checkout.
Self-checkout. Yeah. There needs to be a next logical step. And what we normally say is do a consultation of some sort, on-site consultation, an in-office, if you have a display home. It depends again on your style of business, but you need to have some sort of consultation. Some of our clients do Zoom ones, just to, you know. And what you need to do then on your website is you need to sell this next step. And what I mean by sell is you need to sell the value. The prospective client needs to see the value in why they need to take action and do this. You need to convince them, inspire them, overcome some of their fears, and paint a little bit of a picture of what's it going to mean to them if they do this consultation. Because then they'll take action and they'll give you some information. And we suggest creating a really thorough questionnaire at that stage, that the client, this is the way they're doing some work for you up front. And then when you get the answers to that questionnaire back, you can identify whether or not you want to take this inquiry on further. There's no reason to, you know, do the on-site meeting if, for example, they say, I want to build in Brisbane, and clearly you're a builder in the Gold Coast and you don't do Brisbane. It's as easy as like, sorry, we can't help you. And then we suggest sending them to someone that you know that might be good for them. Right.
Big time.
Which we'll go into another day. But
But even that consult. I mean, when you look at the power of marketing, a lot of guys complain about wasting the time going here and there and everywhere. When you have that right process in place, your sales really should be a deselection process. You know, who can I easily disqualify, so I'm not wasting time. And then those that are going to progress to the next stage. And we've got a number of clients that charge for their time to go and visit site for an hour and a half.
And they're upfront. Even on the website, when we sell this consultation, and in the questionnaire as well, it's a $500 or $1,000 consultation. And if you're communicating the value and the prospective client understands what they're going to get from it, and they truly see you as the vehicle that can help them, that's a no-brainer. Because that's how they get access to you, and they want you. And there's also this perception of, wow, I'm paying for something, I'm going to get something of value. And
this is what I think a lot of builders undervalue themselves. And that's why I love what we do, because we help builders really believe in themselves, believe in their value, what they provide. A lot of builders think, oh man, like, okay, I'll go and I'll talk to them for an hour and a half. A lot of builders underestimate the value that comes with the lifetime of experience that they've had before. So that hour and a half, they have an immense amount of knowledge that they can give to that prospective client.
Remember, the prospective client's never been through this. It's the first time for them. And I mean, we take this for granted as well, because we've been doing this for over a decade. How many years now? We're 2022, started 11.
12 years.
11, let's say 11, 12 years now. So we take for granted what we know, and we just assume, oh, that clients should just know this, or prospective clients should just know this, you know, but they don't. And that's a big mistake that businesses make in all areas. I mean, every business. We're victims to that as well. Victims. But anyway, we're taking a proactive approach That's why we're educating people through this podcast. So yeah.
And then the next big thing that I know we're very passionate about is not just creating an amazing story.
Yeah.
Because we often talk about it doesn't matter how amazing a story is.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's quickly just go again. So you need to know where you want to go.
Yeah.
What you want. And that is in terms of the type of clients, the type of projects.
Yeah.
Then you need to create your messaging and your stories and your website, your videos, your process, your consultation, all that kind of stuff. You need to have all that ready. Then you need to start planting the seeds. Okay. And your story is kind of part of the seed, or is that the fertilizer? It's probably the fertilizer, I'd say. Yeah. And then you need to plant those seeds in the form of advertising. So you use your messaging, you use your stories, and you advertise through things like Facebook and Instagram, and you pay for it. It's not just, you just post it on your Facebook and your Instagram. You do that as well.
Yes. Can you describe that or explain that to people, the difference?
Yeah.
Because that's something that I'm always explaining to people.
Yeah.
The difference between
Organic and
organic.
paid.
And again, these two clients of ours that have recently, that let's say, put things on pause and then came back.
Yeah.
And they realized the difference between organically just posting and advertising. Can you dive into a bit of that?
Okay, so you should post your videos and images and everything organically. So it's when you go on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, and you upload your photo and your video and you say share, and then that's on your feed. You want to do that because you want, when people find out about you and they go on your website or they go on your Instagram or they go on your Facebook, they see what you've posted. And it's a quick way for them to go, oh, and again, it's because it's your story and your messaging.
Yeah.
So you go, yep, I'm at the right place. Oh, I love this builder. I love the projects they do. They're talking my language, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's more of a portfolio almost. But don't confuse it with a portfolio of just uploading images of projects or videos of projects. You want to tell that lifestyle story as well, like what's important to you. Show, like if you have family, share as much as you can with your about your family and why family is important to you. Yeah. If you're into golf, show a little bit of that. You want to show the team, so you want to build that emotional story that makes up your DNA as a business.
Yeah. What's the common misconception a lot of people have when they think of
So they
posting?
think when they post organically that people are just going to see it.
Yeah.
They think of it as traffic, whereas it's not. It's more of a static thing. Okay, like a website, like a portfolio.
That's a good example.
Some people might see it if they follow you or if it comes up on Explorer or whatever, but that's being passive. And the businesses that understand this, they get the most traction out of this. Yeah. So they do the organic to have their portfolio and their story there. Okay. And then what they do is they do paid advertising. They use their stories that we create for our clients and the videos and the images and everything else like that, the messaging, and they pay Facebook and Instagram, which is the same thing, to get those in front of ideal clients.
That's where you're going and getting new attention, new awareness.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that attention, that awareness.
So then paid advertising gets split, and depends on how deep we want to go today. Yeah. But
you can go pretty deep.
Let's keep it, I'll just go in one level down, that's it. Yeah. So we've got paid advertising, we've got cold awareness. So these are people that they don't know about you.
Yeah.
We're going to get their attention. People that are thinking about building maybe in the next few months to the next few years.
Those are people who are walking around outside, don't know you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it might be someone that wants to build pretty soon. They've been already talking to builders.
Yeah.
And then others as well that they're not even thinking about building for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're getting their attention. And then once we've got their attention and they kind of like have that connection with your brand and your business, then we take them over into like what we call a warm bucket. And this warm bucket here is where we nurture them. So you plant the seed in the cold bucket, and in the warm bucket, this is where you water it. And you use your story and your messaging as fertilizer. Yeah. And you want to nurture these people, and depending on where they're at in the process. Yeah. Okay. And it depends on like, are they about to build right now or 5 years from now? Yeah. And you need to show up the whole time in front of them, the whole time. You need to start building up that equity. So yeah. So that's, so we've got organic and we've got paid advertising. Within paid, we've got cold
Yeah.
and warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that last point you touched on there is then continually showing up.
Yeah.
I think is a point that so often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Because if you're not continually showing up in someone's world, then they're being bombarded with so much other information.
There'll be another builder.
There's another builder to come along.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you then, take a
And
passive.
we've seen this.
Yeah.
I mean, because we help builders Australia and New Zealand wide, you know, we've advertised heaps, and then sometimes I've never switched it off, our advertising, but sometimes, you know, things got too busy for us, and we kind of like, you know, just slow down the budget. You know, we're talking to too many people, too many builders are approaching us, and we just can't help them all. We're a small team, we're 10 people, we can only help so many builders at one point in time. So at that point in time, I'm like, okay, well, let's switch off the marketing a little bit, okay? But again, we've never switched it off completely, but we go down. And then guess what happens? 2-3 months from now, what do we see?
You see the ramifications.
Yeah, we're like, where are the people? Who are we talking to?
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, let's ramp it up, quick.
Yeah.
And then it's too late. Then we've got to wait another 3 months or 6 months because we've got to build that trust again.
Yeah.
So that's how we've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
And some of our clients as well. I mean, the last week or 2 weeks, have been great examples of that. You know, they planted great seeds, those seeds harvested, they're like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need to plant more seeds. I don't need to keep watering them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's important there's different stages. When we help clients with the paid advertising, once we've created their stories and all that kind of stuff, it changes from time to time.
That's a good point you raised there.
Yeah.
Because there is we've talked to many builders that may have tried or running ads, and they'll say it doesn't work. And often when we jump into the micro of it, and we look at, well, how are they doing it? What are they doing? It's very static. It's like, cool, we created it and it just runs. And we just pay a budget. Compared to, I suppose what we do is
a
very
lot of people have tried it.
constant optimizing. It's never set and forget. It's always, what's the feedback?
Yeah.
And there's quantitative and there's qualitative. There's the quantitative, seeing what's getting engagement, what's getting more or less engagement. And then there's the qualitative. It's like, what are the conversations sounding like?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? How are you talking to them? How are they talking to you?
What are they scared about?
What are they scared about?
What are their false beliefs?
Yeah, how honest they're being with you. What are they asking or not asking?
Yeah, and that changes.
Yeah.
And then we need to change
Radically.
the messaging. Yeah. And I mean, a great example is probably a builder in Brisbane that we started helping recently. And he's in the best stage of his business forever. And he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And he said to us, guys, the reason why I'm doing ads right now is for 2 to 5 years from now. Yeah. I'm good for the next 2 years. I've got my ideal projects. And he signed up with us at this point in time, which is really interesting. He kind of gets
that's that long-term vision.
That proactive. Yes. And it's not just about building the pipeline then or having those seeds harvest then, but it's about using the projects that he's got right now.
Yeah.
When things are going well, showing what you're doing.
And the other thing as well, which a lot of people don't always touch on, is when you are constantly putting the message out there, you're also educating. Yes, you're getting new attention and keeping them warm, but you're educating. Therefore, you or our builders, working with them, they can dictate what information they want to put out there, what they want to put in front of these people. So what happens over time is the person that comes through the door is more and more and more and more educated. Not only on you as their ideal builder, but how they need to approach you, how they need to follow your process, how your process has been specifically designed to bring the best outcome, which means you get such a lubricated client that just trusts you, wants to follow your process. They're not nitpicking. So you've manufactured your own ideal client.
Yeah. I think there's one problem though. Like you might be listening, like someone might be listening here and go, wow, that's what I need.
Yeah.
That's the missing link.
That's what I want.
That's what, I need to do what these two guys just said. I need to get clear on who I want.
Who I am.
What I want.
Yeah.
Who I am. What my projects, my clients, all that stuff. I need to get clear my message and create my stories and all that stuff. And then I need to advertise. And that's a silver bullet. Guys, there's a lot of different things at play here. Everything interconnects. Okay. we don't want builders to approach us just to get leads.
Yeah.
Getting
That's a good
leads
point
and
to raise.
inquiries is a byproduct of running an awesome business, serving your customers well, doing right by them, creating value, advertising.
Sharing those stories.
Yeah, sharing those stories
Yeah.
in the form of what we spoke about today, but also being the story. So what I mean by that is having good site signage, having your car signage, having your car always clean,
Yeah.
driving really like respectfully.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a cyclist. You could probably see my bike in the background there. And I didn't tell you this, but I went for a ride on Sunday, like at 12 noon when the baby was taking a nap. And it was hectic, it was chaos. And I was riding on the Esplanade and I'm just like, I've got to just get it into the neighborhoods where there's no cars because the Esplanade was just messy, like 2 cars almost hit me. Yeah. And anyway, I was driving and this builder, I'm not going to name any names, we've spoken to him.
Yeah.
He came and he cut me off and then stopped right in front of me in the roundabout. And I had to like put on the brakes and skid it, almost hit him. And then he just turned anyway. He turned anyway. He could have just waited.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like you should not have your stickers on, like your
You can
signage
drive
on
like
your
that,
car.
Yeah. And the same for how are you interacting with clients?
Yeah.
Or people who just want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
How do you interact with your trades, suppliers?
And
Because
also,
that
what's your
network-
team like on site?
Yeah.
Are they
when you're not around?
swearing, like on site, screaming,
all part of
swearing
your brand.
early in the morning? Neighbors can hear them. They go, oh, that's the brand,
Yeah.
right? So it's about being a good business all around. And I mean, that's a different topic for another day.
Yeah.
But it all interconnects.
Yeah.
And the
There's no
reason why I'm
silver bullet.
bringing all of this up is because someone in the neighborhood might see your site signage and go, I need to build 1 year from now. Guess what? They jump on your website. Boom, we've got them in the warm bucket of the advertising.
Yeah.
And now we're showing your stories and your messaging to them the whole time, building that relationship.
Yeah.
So it's a whole ecosystem. You cannot just rely on these things, what we just told you. You can't just rely on us to do this. You need to be a good business all around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
You're thinking about the builder that cut me off.
Yeah, I want to know who it is.
I'll chat to him. I'll have a laugh with him. Luckily, I knew that was going to happen, so it's all
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Awesome. What for those who are watching this?
Yeah.
And I mean, we have a lot of clients who watch our content.
Yeah.
We often tell them to. It just keeps them again controlling the good information that you're consuming. But those who are watching this who maybe we haven't spoken to.
What's a key takeaway? What they need to do?
What's the key takeaway they should?
Right. Okay. So if you're sitting there watching this or you're listening to this podcast, I want you to remember these few things. Number one, you need to get clear on what you want as a builder or a construction business. We help a lot of other construction businesses as well, mainly builders. The second thing you want to do is you want to within that, you want to identify your ideal clients and your ideal projects. The second thing is you want to get clear on your messaging to those people, know exactly what message to put in front of them.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, you need to start advertising. You need to get that message in front of them. So those are the 3 steps. So
Yeah.
Till next time.
Easy.
Anything you want to add? Or?
One thing I've heard a lot is it can be quite hard when you try and dive deep yourself. So if you're watching this and give that a go, sit down with pen and paper and write out what are your goals, where do you want the business to be in 5 years from now? Who are you and who's that ideal client? If you have any issues getting clarity on that or you want some help with that, reach out. I'd love to have a chat and find out more about yourself, share more about us and see if we can help and see if you're a fit. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, JP.
Awesome. Thank you.
Enjoy. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe via your favorite podcasting app and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for future videos. See you later.